Hey guys, I've done some YouTube videos recently, laundry, and I kind of want to do another one. This is my last night in Lexington, Kentucky, and I want to do like a rerun of what this place has meant for me, done for me, and etc. So I moved here, having been incarcerated and sitting in jail for 8 hours. And then being just freaked the fuck out. And yeah, that was awful. And I spent like 2 weeks cramped up in this apartment, not wanting to go anywhere because I was just like completely messed up. And I came out of it. And I started hanging out with the crew, which is, Jeremy, Austin, and Ryan, which, as I wind down, they're very good bar buddies. Very good bar buddies. And I have learned here the difference between intentions and expectations. My intentions were to be their friends. My expectations were we were friends. This is projection. This is what I was supposed to be working on, which I didn't do with the extent that I should have. And I'm okay. I'm learning just like everybody else is. This is all about us growing and experiencing life. I grew up in a family where we didn't have like easy access to people. So whenever you'd see somebody and they wanted to spend time with you, they were your friend. And you were excited. And it was like, oh my God, I love you. And it's like, as an adult, it's like, I can see somebody and say, I would like to spend some time with you. And spend time with them. But if I'm spending like an hour or two every 3 weeks with you, is that, what would you call that? Right? I wouldn't call that a good friend, right? That's like a bar buddy. That's one of those many layers of friendship. And yeah, I put too much pressure on the concept of a relationship with them and calling it a thing when I should have accepted it for what it was. And I'm okay. I made a real friend, like a real friend, and his name is Devin. Why that took me that many seconds to figure out, I can't tell. It's because I'm upset. Devin reached out to me on Instagram. And we just started talking. And he's like, I'm looking for real friends. I said, oh, cool. So am I. So we started doing dinner night. And we met first at a place called Sutton's, which is right here off of Richmond and Man of War. And we walked in, I walked in, got a seat, he walks in, and he always dresses like, I'm trying to think of what I would say, like he came right out of the gym. He had on this strapped tank top and, what do you call those, sweatpants, but the kind like athletic sweatpants. And he comes in and sits down and I'm just like, why are you dressed like that? I can see both sides of your pecs. I mean, it looked really slutty. And he was so happy. People were staring at him, and he was just like, everybody thinks I'm hot. I'm like, Devin, that's because you're showing off. I love Devin. But he has some weird things going on with him. I'm going to miss a lot. We had like a couple really cute moments recently where I could pretty much tell that me moving affects him. And the fact that we've been doing this go out to dinner every week for 3 or 4 months. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. And I really appreciate it because it gave me something to look forward to. And for like half an hour to 45 minutes, he would just talk about CrossFit and show me videos. And oh my God, it was very surreal. I sat there like, this is what people think of me. Hey, I did all these, look at the numbers I pushed yesterday. They're all like, well, I don't care. Why are you telling me this? This matters to nobody but you. Yes. And as he sat there and told me about his CrossFit and showed me his videos, I cared about him and his passion for what he does. And that was something that I've learned. I sat there for a while going, oh my God, stop. And then I just paid attention to the fact that he was so animated and happy in that moment. And I wasn't letting him do that. Not because I was being a dick, but because I was being selfish. And I needed to be selfless and let him do his thing, which he needed to do. And that really like put me in my place on some things. We went out to the bar 2 weeks, not this weekend, last weekend. And I ordered a drink for him, and we sat there and we talked, and he knew more people than I did, which was fascinating for me because I'm usually like Mr. Popular, right? And sorry. And he sat there and he's introducing me to these people. And one guy was just eye-fucking both of us, but he's introducing me to all these people, and I'm realizing I'm thinking I'm taking him out to show him Lexington's, gay community. And what I'm actually doing is just going with him so he can show me his part of the community. We all have a part of the community. And I just sat there like, okay, I need to learn my lesson. I need to learn this lesson hard. I'm not the center of the world. And giving space to people to just like bloom in their passion is important. And you just have to sit there and realize that this time is about them, and your time will come. And my time came. We sat there and talked, and when it got to my part, when he says, okay, so what's going on with you? I'm like, and I started talking about the things I wanted to talk about that made me happy. And it's always good. It's always a good conversation once we get past the part where he needs to talk about his passion. And like I said, I'm good with it. It has become somewhat of a like, I can tell that he doesn't get to do that a lot. And with me, he's allowed to. And he just goes. The first time I met him, he was trying to be as sarcastic and rude as possible. And I said, what is this supposed to do for you? And he was like, well, this is how I normally am. No, it's not who he normally is. So last night, I went over, we had dinner Friday night. Saturday night, we just did a hangout, went shopping. I met a whole bunch of people from his CrossFit and a whole bunch of people from his work, which was really weird. And I'm like, you're going to get grilled on Monday. And he goes, why? I said, dude, we were walking around giving off couple vibes like nobody's business. Everybody there was staring at me. Because they're like, who is this guy that he's hanging out with? And the fact that I'm pretty helps, right? So, yeah, he's going to get grilled. But, yeah, it was a good time. But before we even left, I'm sitting on his couch. And he comes over. And he, like, sits on my lap sideways. Reaches out, goes like this, and just holds me. I said, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. He weighs 190 pounds. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, my lap. It was fine. But it was like the cutest, coolest thing. And I'm realizing we might have crossed a couple lines on friendship. But he is probably the best friend, male friend, that I've had in quite some time. And I'm keeping him. There's some people that I'm okay with them disappearing because, how to put it, I'm not chasing anybody. If you want to stay in my life, you can stay in my life. I'm good. I'm not running people out. I'm not chasing people. So tomorrow, the movers come at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and they say it's like 2 to 5. I'm like, dude, it's going to take an hour max to take all these boxes that are already all nice and squared and rectangular and Tetris them into my 350 square feet, including the couch and the bed. I don't see it even being a problem. I bet I don't even match or meet the 350 square feet requirement. Last time they're like, you just squeaked in. I'm like, good. I just need to squeak in. Yeah. Here's another cute anecdote from yesterday. Devin and I went to, TJ Maxx. And he found this artwork piece that he liked. And he sat there looking at it, and he just kept going back and forth if he liked it or not. And I'm like, dude, it's cheap. Actually, it wasn't TJ Maxx. It was Walmart, of all places. And it was a piece of decor that anybody could buy. And we found one that we liked, and they're all mass-produced. But we found one we liked because everything was perfect on it. And I said, okay, this one will work. This one will work. And it was like $10. It was nothing. So we get back to his place, and he says, let's hang this picture. I needed to get going, by the way. Let's hang this picture. Okay. But he takes a picture, flips it over, puts his name on it, puts plus, and then says, put your initials on there. And I put AJ. He says, your J looks awful. I said, that's how I do my J's. Not my problem that you don't like it. And then he wrote the date. And so we went over, and I did my usual engineering tricks that were off by like an eighth of an inch. But we centered the picture on the wall, and we put it up. And when it was up, and we made sure it was perfectly aligned, sat there and just stared at it like, okay. And he goes, where's this other picture go? And I says, I think you need to think on that. He has another picture. And after looking at that picture and the new picture, or the old picture that he had before, I'm like, I think it needs a new frame. He goes, I think it does too. He says, but I remember framing this. I said, well, maybe you just take the, take the frame and spray paint it. Make it like a gold or silver. I think that would work really well. And he just sat there and he's contemplating it like, oh, okay, that'd be kind of cool. Actually, I have some more thoughts, but I'm going to leave it alone. And as I left, we gave each other a big hug, a little bit of a kiss, and I told him I loved him, and in AJ fashion, and I left, and I texted him and said I got home. That's my friend. Today has been rough. Wolfie is acting older, like he's somehow aged like quite a bit in the past like month. And that's starting to scare me because it shouldn't. Downward spirals with dogs go from perky, oh my god, life is great, to in the ground. And that's going to hurt. My friend Jeanette and I were talking about it. She says, what's going to happen when Wolfie goes away? So you're going to get cat? And I'm like, I don't want anything. I think I want nothing. I think I want to just sit in my space and not have a pet. She goes, why? I said, well, first off, I want a little bit of freedom to live my life and do whatever I want. But also, I always used to replace my pets when they passed away. And you got this new puppy and you're so excited and you're so happy and the serotonin and the oxycodone and all the other shit's going through your brain. And I kind of want to let my body process it and figure out what I really want to do before I just say, I'm going to blah. So we're going to see. No, we're not going to see. That's how it's going to happen. It's just the end of the story. So hopefully Wolfie's got a couple more years and we don't have to have this conversation, but he's 12. That's pretty old for him. Well, his breed can live a billion years, but I don't think he's got a billion years in him. Yeah, he picks up one leg, it gets cold, and then he picks up the opposing back leg and then falls over. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And he just looks at me like, what? I don't know why this is happening. I'm like, not my baby. So anyway, I want to apologize on behalf of the AJ for everybody that I have harassed over the past 2 weeks while I've been freaking out about finding a job, finding an apartment, getting all my shit together. It's all together. I just have to, after I get set, I have to get a hold of my, the electric here, the electric and Spectrum. That's it. That's all I got. That's pretty cool. And have the services turned over for the electric to the office, and to Spectrum I have to return the devices I have. I have new devices at the new place. I was thinking I had to go here to do something, and I'm like, every place I've ever gone, they say, oh, we'll just turn it in, or just go to the UPS and give them this information, and they'll just box it up and ship it. Okay, I'm good. I hope I'm good. This time tomorrow, I will be driving. This time the day after tomorrow, I still won't be unpacking. They won't have my stuff there. But we'll have food in the fridge, and I'll be figuring out what I want to do. I'm going to go get my gym membership on Tuesday, which should be easy. And yeah, It will be good. I love you guys. I love you, dude.